Back inside Jordan Valley Ice Park, I'm Gabe Daniel, joined alongside Logan Rosengard. Thank you for standing by and being patient with our technical difficulties as we get this worked out. It's the Jayhawks looking to bounce back after dropping last night 5-1. The lone goal coming from Jack Gerber in that game.
Right, Gabe. Last night here in Springfield, the Jayhawks had a little bit of trouble trying to get any sort of offense moving against the Ice Bears. The Ice Bears had some great puck control, great puck movement in the offensive end, and had a great transition game, causing the 5-1 score. Tonight, the Jayhawks are going to try their best, as they do every night, to stop that rush, as we have the anthem here in a minute, Gabe.
Just will step aside there. And that'll do it for the anthem. It's a crowded Jordan Valley Ice Park where it's, I guess, Greek night. A lot of sorority members and fraternity members are here in the stands.
A lot of letters being worn for sure, Gabe.
Much more crowded than it was last weekend in Nebraska.
Now, folks, we have two minor penalties.
The
one
Jayhawks
to the
are...
State Ice Bears and one to the Kansas Jayhawks. 2 minutes each for a delay of game for failing to leave the ice after warm-ups.
So I guess two players will start in the box. I have not seen that before. They're both going to get delay a game.
That's an interesting call, I guess. I mean, the rules are the rules there, Gabe, but if looks like it's going to be offsetting penalties, 4-on-4 for 2 minutes and a whistle here, Gabe. A lot more ice to open up to start the game for sure, something the Jayhawks are going to need to take advantage for.
So, and it looks like Brandon Fontanetta is going to serve the penalty for the Jayhawks.
Freshman from Illinois, part of that huge young Chicago area core that the team has this season.
As the faceoff is won back over to Drummond and quickly dumped in by the Bears. And then quickly force-feeding it out of the zone to Ciavelis as he's going to move to a quick one-on-one opportunity. He tries to crank a slap shot, but it's blocked up front going off the shin pad of Drummond. Pearson's able to play it over to Duso, who gets it to Vitopka, who tries to rip one, and it was blocked up front. As Duso cranks it back in, it'll be Zaccardi on it. A head man pass, then up to Daniger. Daniger loses control. Ciavelis able to chip it out of the zone. Now it's going to be Gerber streaking down the left wing. Has the puck stripped away. Now Daniger's going to coast it down the center. He'll curl to the left, dodging a hit from PK. Daniger takes a shot, misses the net there. Holding the line is number 15. That's Graham Suddeth. Now Suddeth forcing it to the other corner, but getting on it is Max Brown. Max Brown tried a headman pass up for Jack Gerber. Too much mustard on that one, but it'll go to the tape of Holmstrom for the Bears. As it's sent over to Suddeth. Suddeth dropping it back over to Holmstrom. Holmstrom, dipsy doodle move around PK. Now he's going to turn on the Jets as he goes down the right wing. Holmstrom tries to make a move around Brown, and he takes him down just right at the crease. But the Bears will hold it in. Passed over to Harper, a shot up front and held onto by Miles. So a much faster start to this game as opposed to last night.
Yeah, both teams seem to have found their bearings a little earlier. Might be in part due to the much more, there's a lot more room on the ice as it's 4-on-4 to start the period due to the minor penalties for delay game, Gabe.
And it looks like Zaccardi broke his stick on that play, and he was able to kick the puck away, preventing Williams from getting that odd man rush. As it's passed over to Morgan, who then gets it up over to Hansen. That's turned over right at the scorer's table. Now Max Brown will try to get something going for the Jayhawks. Max Brown up on the left side, dumps it into the zone as the teams are at full strength, as Brett Houston wraps it around to Garnier. Up to Patel, who had to leave it for Holmstrom, over to Garnier, who then gets over to Houston. Brett Houston, headman pass, intending it over for Moon, and all the way down for an icing. So still tied at 0, 17:41 remaining here in the first period. Shots on goal are 1-0 in favor of Missouri State.
Yeah, as the line here for the Jayhawks gets lined up here, Gabe, it's important to note.
And it's going to be a 2-on-0, but quickly broken up there by Nick Markrander. As the puck finds its way over to Ciavel, it's a headman pass up to Aiden Matthey, but it goes too far, and it'll end up going over to Garnier. Now Matthey chips it into the zone. Racing after the puck is Ciavelis. Ciavelis gets it. Sticked away there by Houston. And left back behind the net for Battelle. Battelle is able to make a move around Matthey. He leaves it for Houston in the corner. And Houston's ill-advised pass is intercepted there by Ciavelis as he takes a hit there. The student section starting to get a little rowdy. Now Battelle moving in, cuts to the right before trying to pass it to the slot. Broken up there by Ciavelis. There's a lot of back and forth. A shot up front by Moon right to the glove of Miles and held on.
As I was trying to say before the play started, Gabe, it's important to know what Coach Andy McConnell said to us yesterday before the game. It is a huge mindset game. If this Jayhawk team can come into this game, especially after the loss that they had last night to Missouri State, with the mindset that they are a better team, they will produce on the ice.
As a headman pass, it looked like it was intended for Gerber. That doesn't go there. Now it's going to be PK striking in the wing, tries a shot, and the field goal is good, as that one just goes up and into the netting.
PK, another one of those Chicago area kids on this team here, Gabe. Played defense in high school for the BGHW combined team in Illinois, and is being more of a flexible player here for the Jayhawks, playing forward so far this season.
And it looks like there was a little bit of change in the lineup. Aiden Matthey now rocking with that first line. Lance Medina moved down to the second line. But that's the only change for the Jayhawks so far today. And they have to get back on side. Gerber just a little too ahead of the play. Now Zaccardi, headman pass intended for Gamble, broken up there by Fontanetta. Now Miles loses control of the puck, but he's able to get it out of the zone. Dangerous play there as he thought he had enough time and space. Now Zaccardi up to Drummond. Drummond getting pressured there right away by Hansen as the puck ends up going over to Morgan as he's knocked down by the older brother of Luke Hansen. And a nearly goal there, saved by Miles as the puck is dumped all the way back. As Josh Hansen has it. He's able to get it out, but it goes all the way back. No icing as it hit the stick of one of the Jayhawks, as Connor Morgan will get it. Morgan trying to find Fontanetta. And it'll look like the two brothers collide into each other after the whistle. So I'm not sure what the ref is trying to signal here.
Not entirely sure myself, Gabe.
Looks like it might have been offsides. So we'll just go with that as the faceoff is taking place right in front of the Jayhawk bench. Is a great defensive play there by Max Brown's able to break up that opportunity. A shoulder save there by Miles as the puck will go to Ciavelis in the corner. Ciavelis trying to get it up to Vitopka. Vitopka already had 2 guys there ready for him. Sudduth with it now. Sudduth passing it to the other corner over to Harper. Collides there with Matthew, but it gets it back over to Sudduth, who then try to get a headman pass up to Conti. As the puck is chopped into the corner, Max Brown will go into work for the Jayhawks trying to get it out. Ciavelis gets tripped down, and that'll be a penalty.
Jayhawk power play yesterday, Gabe, had a few good opportunities. I think having 4 or 5 power play chances in that entire game. Going to get an early start tonight here in the first period as they go up on the man advantage.
So and it looks like that power play unit 1 will be back out there. Will Vitopka, the newest addition to that power play.
2 minutes for tripping.
And you could see last night's play, he really earned that spot as that one is dumped up and out of play into the netting.
Yeah, let's talk about newcomer to the Jayhawk team, number 15 in blue, Vitopka. He comes into last night's game not having played a single game this season, and although the result on the scoreboard and for the stat sheet for him didn't necessarily lead to any sort of success, he was a difference maker that entire game, bringing a lot of energy, a lot of board play to his game, something that the Jayhawks are going to use to their benefit as he's in the corner right now fighting for it, still holding on to the puck through 3 or 4 hits right there, Gabe. Just incredible.
An incredible addition to this Jayhawk squad, and I believe he's only a freshman. So a great player that can become a cornerstone piece for this Jayhawk roster. Over to Ciavelis, who tried to find Medina up front, and he scores! I'm not sure who it was, either Steven Ciavelis or Lance Medina.
I believe it was Ciavelis in front. Vitopka had that line down on the goal line, walked out a little bit, put the puck in front. Medina may have gotten a piece of it, but ultimately Steven Ciavelis buries the puck in the back of the net. 1-0 game here early for the Jayhawks, something they haven't seen since being up 2-0 in Nebraska on that Friday night.
And that's what you got to do. You got to crash the net, go to that back door. The Jayhawks did that, and they succeeded there. As the face-off is won back over to Gerber, who dumps it in. He's going to race after it to the corner. As it's sent back around. And I also want to point out Caleb Dusso was out there on the ice for that power play goal, as he was on the ice for 4 goals in that Friday night win last weekend against Nebraska. As Medina leading the breakout for the Jayhawks, try to get the head man pass up to Gerber, but Medina is able to get it again. Now Medina, he's able to spin off a hit.
Looks like there's going to be an offsides here, Gabe. A little overzealous from the Jayhawks, couldn't necessarily clear the zone out in time, and that puck might be going down further. Nope, I stand corrected. It's going to stay right outside of the Missouri Ice Bears zone.
Steven Ciavelis, assisted by number 11, Caleb Dusso, and number 15, Herman Benekta, at 7:10.
So Drummond with it now as he tries to lead a breakout, as it's passed over to Josh Hansen, who then finds it over to Mattingly. Mattingly tries a shot up front, and they score.
Mattingly got tripped up on that breakaway chance that he had just there, Gabe, and got a shot on net afterwards, and it rolled past Mitch Miles to get the tying goal on the board. Just a soft rolling puck. Sometimes the puck bounces a little bit. The goalie can't get control. Nothing that Mitch Miles could have done about that other than play his position, which he did. 1-1 game here in Springfield.
And you know, it all happened because they just allowed someone to walk in that back door. You know, playing defense in the slot has really got to be something that the Jayhawks can step up and do.
They seem to have found their defensive footing a little better earlier this game compared to when they did last game, which is a very good sign, Gabe.
And
as it's loose up front. The backhand shot goes wide. And a big hit there in the corner by Hansen. A shot from the
Jayhawk
slot.
bench is fired up about that hit.
And it looks like a little bit of conversation between Miles and the linesman. As the atmosphere is really starting to pick up, as it's hard to find an empty open spot here inside the Jordan Valley Ice Park. As it's passed over to Gerber. Gerber leading the rush. He's going to cut to the left before going to the right as he has the puck stripped away from him. PK, a nice poke check there, gets the puck over to Cole Walsh as Conti goes right there to get it back for the Bears. Dumped in. Now a foot race for the puck to get it back behind the Missouri State net as Gerber with it tries to pass it over to Medina. Just a little too behind on the play there. Now a head man up all the way to Holmstrom. Holmstrom waits before passing it down to number 15, Zaccardi, streaking down the center. It's loose up front. The Jayhawks trying to get it out. It's held in. Pass over to Papuga. And fanning on the rebound there is Gamble. A nearly lucky break for the Jayhawks. As Walsh unable to win the race over to the puck. The Bears just doing a really good job of holding that puck in the zone.
Yeah, much like yesterday, Gabe, the Ice Bears seem to have strong offensive zone possession, just moving the puck around and winning those board battles and just maintaining control of the puck. Something the Jayhawks definitely have to crack down on if they want any chance of getting back up in this game.
As Houston dumps it around, it'll end up going to the tape of Aiden Matthew, who tried to backhand it out of the zone. He did so, but he couldn't get the pass complete over to Gerber. Now it's going to be Sullivan dodging a hit from Ciavellis as the puck ends up going over to Vitapka, and a foot race for the puck there. Looks like that was Puga who won the race. Now a shot by Sullivan blocked up front by Brown as the Bears hold it into the zone. Over to Gamble up front, a shot kicked away there by Miles, and the Bears still holding it in. They wrap it around using the boards there, and a delayed penalty on the Jayhawks. So Missouri State will get to see their man advantage come to work.
Last night they had a few man advantage opportunities. I believe they only cashed in on one. Jayhawk penalty kill was strong last night, and they're going to get tested here as we just approach the halfway mark of the first period. Steven Ciavellis going to the box for 2 minutes. Oh boy.
This is at the point now. Zaccardi dropping it back over to Harper. Harper waits, he'll pass it over to Conti. Rips a shot from the point off the pad of Miles. Another lucky break there for the Jayhawks. Missouri State has to skate it back and regroup. Fighting in the corner now. Brown trying to get the puck back for the Jayhawks so they can dump it down, get it out of the zone. But Zaccardi wheeling around.
Like
another delayed penalty on the Jayhawks.
I think it's going to be in front. That looks like, can't make out a number. It's probably going to be an interference call from my look.
Yeah, based on that net front battle, I'm assuming it'll be on Connor Morgan as he's without a stick right now. There's another hit.
Going to be 2 penalties on this. Looks like it's going to be, could be more. There's a meeting in the corner there, Gabe, after that hit by 22 in white for the Ice Bears, Brock Gerhardt.
So all sorts of penalties going to be handed out there. That's the student section here.
Jordan Valley Ice Park definitely louder than it was last night, Gabe. The referees are meeting over by stand-in coach Andrew Cadle and talking over what's going to happen here in terms of penalties being assessed and not.
So it looks like Luke Hansen will head to the box
maybe one more. Gerhardt. Not Gerhardt, my mistake. That's just the assistant captain talking. And the Jayhawks are going to be down 2 men for a little bit here, Gabe.
So 9:05 left to go. The score still tied at 1. But lots of fun starting to happen here.
The referees are still meeting in the officials' crease in front of the score bench, talking over the calls with the timekeeper. Not entirely sure what other calls might be assessed other than what was a result of the net front battle resulting in the Morgan penalty for the Jayhawks, Gabe.
So it looks like the face-off will take place directly in front of us. At least that's where Missouri State is lined up.
Doesn't make sense to me if it looks like there's going to be a penalty for the Ice Bears as well. Well, don't know if it's on this player, but number 20 for the Ice Bears, Matthew Garnier, sitting in the box. Again, not really too sure what the calls are going to be aside from that call resulting from the net front battle. A lot of confusion here. Referees are meeting once again with Andrew Cadle, coach for the Jayhawks today.
To Ice Bears number 22, Brock Gerhardt, 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for boarding.
So Gerhardt having 2 minors assessed to him here on that one exchange of boarding and a roughing, which is the result of the offensive zone draw for the Jayhawks. As the fans getting riled up here, Gabe. An electric atmosphere, needless to say.
So the goaltender ended up getting a little physical in that play, but it looks like it'll be 4-on-4 here. I see 2 penalties up on the scoreboard, but it's 4-on-4 on the ice.
So I believe that has to do with the way that the penalties match on the scorecard, Gabe.
So it looks like Miles' penalty was just taken off, so just waiting for the scores table to catch up.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 4-on-4 for at least the next 55 seconds here, Gabe.
As Vitopka has it. Vitopka.
And there's going to be another Jayhawk penalty coming up.
You know, those stick lifts are easy to sell right there. As it looks like a high stick is going to be the call.
And I believe it's going to be on Votopka, the man that we were praising not too long ago for being an impact on this Jayhawk team. Playing hard sometimes warrants getting a penalty. That's just the nature of the game, Gabe. As the Ice Bears go up on a 4-on-3, yes, you heard that right, opportunity here tonight, Gabe.
This 4-on-3 penalty kill really cost us in that Friday game in our home opener. It was a weird situation. And the shot up front and they score. So Harper was able to find the tip-in up front as the Bears capitalize on that odd power play.
Special teams looks like it's going to be the difference here in the first period, Gabe, as we haven't even crossed the 8-minute mark due to all those penalties and stoppages. But plenty of time. Looks like the Jayhawks are going to be even strength 4-on-4 for a little bit again, Gabe, which should help them out immensely.
And the fan was starting to chant, "I want ice cream." I guess when the Bears score 5, they get some sort of deal at Andy's Frozen Custards as they lead here 2-1. with about 8 minutes left to go here in the first period. Shots are 11-1. The Jayhawks really not getting a chance to do anything.
Again, this Ice Bears control has just been strong through the game, despite the early lead of the Jayhawks.
So Duso tried to get the headman pass over to Gerber, and then Gerber gets knocked down as Schlereth will skate it in now. Schlereth, wearing number 74 for the Bears, will try to take a wrist shot and misses the net, but holding the line there is Brett Houston. Houston has the puck stripped away, but it's still backhanded in the zone. Schlereth with a near tip-in goal there as it's banked up to Gerber, who then leaves it over for Duso. Duso a headman up to PK, who chips it into the corner, where it's then left for Houston. Houston up to Mattingly. Mattingly. He's able to get around Mark Rainer, then Ciavelis goes in to help win that battle, and it's up to Jack Gerber again. Gerber will dump it down, getting a change going for the Jayhawks. 7:14 left on the clock. And about 5 seconds left on the penalty assessed to the Bears. So they have another power play for about 15 seconds. A nice takeaway there by Ciavelis, who was able to split one man. But Houston was able to break it up, and tripped down there was Matthew. A backhand shot by Ciavelis and held on to by Taplin.
Great defensive play by Mattingly on Ciavelis to stop that scoring drive. All credit to Ciavelis, who got the puck in the right place. He just wasn't able to continue his body forward with that defensive stop by Mattingly. Getting tripped up in the process. 2 seconds remaining on this Votopka penalty. I would be surprised if Cadel had him run right to the bench. I think he should be going right to the zone here after it expires.
So Wall's trying to fight the puck on net, but it's taken away by Drummond, who then curls around the net. Drummond moving up on the left wing, and he's hit there by Votopka as he's fresh out of the box, ready to go. Now Mark Rainer wrapping it around, trying to get it over to Matthew, but a weird bounce off the boards gets it to the Bears as they hold it in. Now Holmstrom trying to get it back door over to number 7. A shot up front held on to by Miles, and everyone's getting involved in the crease. A little bit of pushing and shoving between Ciavelis and Holmstrom. And it looks like there's an entire fraternity in the stands right next to that Jayhawk bench.
Something about college hockey just brings out the most energetic in people, Gabe. And that group behind the bench is certainly no different.
Now a shot off the face-off, and they score. That was Sean Sullivan again off a rebound, puts it home, and now the Bears lead 3-1.
Right off the draw there, Gabe had a nice opportunity for the pass across for the goal. Again, it's just tight defensive positioning. Quick passes by the Ice Bears opened up the Jayhawks for that scoring opportunity there, and they cashed in on it. Nice shot by Ciavelis rushing in, as he has a few words for Drummond.
Ice Bears goal scored by number 25, Sean Sullivan.
And it looks like Votopka had a couple words as well.
Again, I cannot help but just love Votopka's play. Some of my favorite players are, NHL players are middle six, two-way grinders. I'm a Blackhawks fan, so Brandon Hagel comes to mind there. Alex Kerfoot from the Leafs. It's just my favorite style of play.
Now Schlereth moving in, tries a shot, tipped up front, goes into the netting and out of play. So 5:49, or 5:48 rather. It's hard to tell. Some of the bulbs in the scoreboard here are going out, it looks like, as the shots are 13-4. Score is now 3-1. Missouri State just dominating in all cylinders as they have the home ice advantage, and it's really showing with how loud it's been getting in here. A shot right off the faceoff by Holmstrom.
Holmstrom able to walk out from the blue line off of the face-off draw win, step in and shoot right over the glove side of Mitch Miles. 4-1 here our score at the Jordan Valley Ice Park. Energy's got to be brought up by this Jayhawks play.
As the faceoff is won by Missouri State, but Caleb Duso quickly breaking it up. Now Medina skating it up over to Gerber. Gerber couldn't catch it. PK backhands it into the zone, racing into the corner for the Jayhawks is Medina. But it's won by number 15. Now PK trying to get it over to Gerber. Up front, shot and save held onto by Taplin.
Ciavelis, Medina, and Votopka out here a lot so far this game. That line seems to be the go-to first line, kind of an energy line as well here for the Jayhawks early on.
As Pearson dumps it into the corner, it'll be quickly picked up there by Sudduth. Then passed up to Mattingly. And a huge open ice hit there by Hansen on Votopka.
It's going to be penalized, it looks like, by Hansen. As Votopka and Hansen fist bump a little bit after the altercation. Sportsmanship at its finest, Gabe, right there. Two foes coming together for a nice little moment. As I'll make mention again, as Gabe mentioned a lot yesterday, Hansen is the older brother of Luke Hansen for the Jayhawks. Being penalized here on the hit on Votopka as the Jayhawk power play is going to work once again here in this first period. Special teams being a big story so far, Gabe. What do you think of it?
You know, I think it's been great. There's that power play unit one on the ice for the Jayhawks again as Missouri State's able to dump it down. And here's Caleb Duso. He's one of the players you just love to watch on that power play as he is just a workhorse as he's really taken charge of it.
Him and Pearson are both quarterbacks of their respective power play units.
In front of Votopka off a slap pass from Medina as they cut the lead in half, making it 4-2.
And there's Votopka getting his first goal for the Jayhawks, cutting the deficit in half to a 4-2 game. Nice little 1-2 pass across the crease for Votopka to bury it in. Lance Medina finding him in the right place.
As the Jayhawks now bring it within the worst lead of hockey. A 2-goal lead, 4-2 with 4:31 left to go. Shots 14-6, so it's this line for the Jayhawks really starting to wake up and get it done. As PK intercepts the pass, it's sent over to Matthew, so Matthew and Medina swap spots. And Gerber takes a hit from behind there.
And there's going to be a penalty on the Ice Bears. On Olsdek. Could be a hit from behind, could be a boarding. As Gerber was on the receiving end of that hit.
And no surprise on who was on the ice here.
And it's a boarding penalty for the Ice Bears.
It'll be a 2-minute.
Ice Bear fans verbally upset with the way that the call went. But this power play unit, Votopka, Ciavelis, Medina, out once again.
With Duso and Pearson back at the blue line. As Ciavelis holding the line there. He's able to try and get it over to Medina, but it's quickly intercepted there. As the Bears dump it down, it'll be Ciavelis passing it over to Pearson. Intercepted there. As the Bears controlling it now. Ciavelis will take it away for the Jayhawks as he's going to skate it up the center before passing it over to Duso. Duso hit off the puck there. And then Ciavelis retaliating with a hit. Now Duso has it again. He's able to shrug off a hit there from Conti. Off the boards over to Duso, who then gets it to Pearson, who is able to tip it in with his stick. As the Bears dump it down again. 3:17 left to go now. 4-2 our score. Just shy of a minute left on the penalty handed out to Osdek.
Gerber almost blew a tire there on that little transition play.
So he'll get over to Matthew, who then finds it over to PK. PK couldn't catch the pass and held on to for a whistle.
Taplin getting his second start in as many days here, Gabe, as he started the game last night in that 5-1 victory over the Jayhawks last night. Facing a little more action in this first period than he did yesterday. All credit to the Jayhawks for bringing a little more intensity.
As the puck is dumped all the way back, Miles will actually play it this time. He leaves it for Morgan. Connor Morgan. It's his first series as he missed the last 3. As he passed it over to PK. PK sends it right back over to Morgan, who backhands it into the zone. Now Morgan in the corner. Gets it over to Matthew. Matthew tried to find, I think he might have been trying to find Gerber, but he just sends it to the middle of the blue line. So Max Brown will have to regroup it for the Jayhawks. As it's sent over to Max. PK. PK got it out of their defensive zone, but Schlereth quickly dumping it back in. So now Gerber leading the charge. He's able to dodge one hit, and he'll cut to the right. Before trying to split through the defense, it's quickly taken away by Mattingly. Now Harper has it taken away from him as it's back and forth possession in front of the Jayhawk bench. Gerber fumbling the puck. Hansen able to pressure it off as it goes back to Sutter, who then sends it over to Josh Hansen. Now Markrainer laying a hit in the corner as the puck ends up going to Matthew. He's able to slap it off the board, couldn't get it out. As it goes over to Walsh now. The Bears still dominating whenever they have the puck in their offensive zone. But Gerber tried to backhand it out. And finally the Jayhawks will get it out. Now Papuga moving in with it as he was able to push down Hansen, Luke Hansen. Getting challenged there by his older brother, Josh. It goes right over to Taplin, and he'll use the glove to hang on for a whistle. That brings it with 1:08 left to go here, period number 1. Shots are 14-9 now, so the Jayhawks starting to catch up a little bit as they're down on the scoreboard.
There's that first line out again for the Jayhawks. Ciavelis, Patopka, and Medina.
Now it's a headman pass all the way up to Conti. Conti taking a shot. Oh, off the rebound. Sprawling all over the crease is Miles. A backhand shot off the skate of Duso.
Flopping around like a fish in front of the net.
Look at that big hit there by Will Vitopka. That one's going to get called for a charge, I believe. And it looks like Miles gets collided with there. Able to get up right away.
Not entirely sure, as the Jayhawks had
a shot
clear
from the
control.
point, blocked up front. Oh my goodness. The Jayhawks defense is winning this shift.
This referee has his hand in the air still, Gabe. I'm not entirely sure if it's a penalty, because the Jayhawks have had at least a little bit of now as they get a whistle.
And it's going to be Vitopka. I could only assume that it's a charge.
Vitopka laying a big hit by right in front of the Jayhawk bench on the blue line.
It looked exactly like when Torrey Krug laid a hit on Robert Thomas in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Vitopka's all about energy. Despite that penalizing hit, he's out there, he's flying around, skating as fast as he can, playing as hard as he can every shift. And a little penalty definitely doesn't seem to stop him and his play. Despite that, the Jayhawks are going to have 18 seconds remaining in this period on the man disadvantage. And they're going to have to try and clear this clock, get into the intermission.
So short-handed Aiden Pearson skates it up. He'll backhand it into the zone with about 9 seconds left to go here, period number 1. Houston with it. Back there pressuring him is PK. He'll pass it over to Moon, and that pretty much does it for period number 1. The Ice Bears head off with a 4-2 lead. We'll be back in just a bit to bring you the action for period number 2 of the final game of this 2-game weekend series. Back inside Jordan Valley Ice Park, I'm Gabe Daniel, joined alongside Logan Rosengard. If you watched last night's game, that first period from today was much better.
A much better game all around from the Jayhawks, Gabe. They've seemed to have found their defensive bearing. The score on the scoreboard being 4 goals against might not show it, but they've been marking their guys in their own end a lot better than they were yesterday. Their offensive and transition play has been a lot more fluid, resulting in more offensive opportunities. They've gotten more shots off with, yes, getting shots off might not mean more high-danger scoring opportunities and quality scoring chances, but this Jayhawk team has used every inch of ice that the Missouri State Ice Bears will give them for a positive impact, which is something that we didn't see a lot of last night. The Jayhawks are going to be up on the man advantage for another minute 41 from the Missouri Ice Bears. Oh, my mistake. I am reading the score clock wrong. The Jayhawks are going to be on the man disadvantage for another minute 41 from the Votopka penalty sustained late in the period.
And this is the song that the St. Louis Blues use on the power play. And I could tell there's quite a few people from St. Louis in the stands as they're doing the power play dance. That sometimes is a controversial topic for that fan base, as the Bears will have control of it to start off. 1.5 minutes left on their power play as the puck goes to the corner. If you're wondering what the penalty was on the Jayhawks, it looked like it went to Will Votopka for charging as Sudduth with it. Pass it over to Harper. Harper over to Conti. Now Conti tries to set up shop over to Ozdek for the tip in, but it's turned aside there. As back behind his own net, Harper will bring it up. Harper leaving it for Conti. Conti cuts to the left before button hooking around. Now Conti back behind the net. Not sure what to do. Tries to pass it to the back door over to Holmstrom, but Luke Hansen there to break that up with the stick. 35 seconds left to go on the penalty handed out to Votopka. 19:50 in the period.
Strong penalty kill showing here from the Jayhawks right now, Gabe.
Really good positioning. A shot there by Sudduth right off the pipe.
Postal Service bearing great news for Mitch Miles on that shot.
Harper drops it back to Conti. Conti over to Holmstrom. A shot up front and they score.
Bit of an announcer's jinx from that on my part, Gabe, but the puck going across the crease, tipped in off of Luke Hansen's foot, going between Mitch Miles' legs, ending the Missouri State power play, keeping the game at even strength, 5-2, but still a lot of time. The Jayhawks don't look bad at all right now, and this is anyone's game, really. The score doesn't show it, but the Jayhawks are still in this battle.
They have climbed back from worse, Logan. So 18:25 left to go here. 5-2 our score now. As it's dumped all the way back, and it looks like it will be an icing on the Ice Bears.
Power play goal for the Ice Bears.
Shots are 19-9, so Miles still facing a lot of action, but not making nearly as many saves as last night, but he's been facing some high-quality shots.
And again, Miles is the only goalie for this Jayhawk team, so he is getting his workload cut out for him night in and night out, and he's standing tall to the task every game.
A nice battle there by Brown, but it ends up Patel moving in. A shot blocked up front. Looks like it hit the shin pad of Morgan, and PK's going to backhand it up and over to Gerber. Gerber cherry picking at the blue line. He's on a break. Moving back in, a shot and a save there by Taplin. Trying to pass it over to Matthew, and a shot just going high.
Hand pass looks like it's going to be the stoppage of play from the official on the back end of the ice, but Jack Gerber finding himself in the right spot of the neutral zone, able to cut through, get a little bit of a breakaway chance. Not as successful as his one goal yesterday, however, just as offensively explosive from the Deerfield, Illinois native.
as the Bears have control. It's Moon looking around. It's dumped back where Cole Walsh will chase it. So now Vitopka on the ice for the Jayhawks after serving his penalty. It'll be Medina with it now. Medina dumping it into the corner, chasing after it. Now it'll be Houston who gets hit there by Ciovelis. Wrapped around over to number 74, that's Schlereth. Over to Ciovelis, who curls around. Pressured off the puck by Sullivan, and it ends up going over to Gamble. Gamble curling back for the Bears, trying to get that breakout started. Papuga trying to headman pass up to Sullivan, but it ends up going over to Walsh. Walsh now coasting down, trying to pass it back over to Gerber. Holding the line there was Markrander. Markrander unable to throw a shot on net, and it's going to be an odd man rush for the Bears, but breaking that one up was Walsh, and it's going to be offsides on Missouri State. And the fans unhappy with that call.
Walsh with a nice pass pick for that little offensive rush there. Jack Gerber opened in the slot, but the pass never came out to him on that rush there, Gabe.
So a battle in the corner. It looks like Markrander, rather that was Duso getting pressured off the puck, and he's able to spin off a hit, dodging Hansen. Passed over to Matthew, who then finds Duso. It's a 3-on-1 for the Jayhawks. A shot by Duso, just sailing wide. Now it's going to be a break for the Bears. Now it's going to be Daniger passing it over to Mattingly. A shot kicked away by Miles. Puck still loose, bouncing in the crease. Hansen unable to bat home the rebound. Now PK is going to lead a breakout for the Hawks. He'll use the glass, sending it around. Finds the tape of Matthew. Matthew back into the corner. Gerber wasn't able to get there first. Pearson able to hold it in. Gerber racing after it in the corner. He gets there first. He's pushed off the puck as he tried to find Hansen with a pass to the slot. As the Bears trying to send it out, as the Hawks doing a great job holding it in. A shot up front by Brown. It hit the side of the net. Almost for a second thought it went in. And the Bears will chip it out of the zone. It goes all the way back. No icing. Connor Morgan on it for the Hawks. Morgan, bank pass over to Williams. Williams chipping it off the boards. As the Bears send it right back in, chasing it is Conti as he's able to strip it away from Morgan. Morgan battling, able to get it back, loses his stick, so he's trying to kick it over to someone. He gets it over to Hansen, who then tries to wrap it around, but it ends up going to the tape of Drummond as the Bears will hold it in. Now Drummond curling around, looking for an open man to pass to as he's getting pressured there. Now Holmstrom passing it up to the point, and then Drummond just holding it in. Now Drummond trying to toe drag around some defenders. Max Brown able to poke it away, kicked away there by Miles as Morgan races there. Gerber able to backhand it out of the zone as it goes back over to Conti.
Another long shift for the Jayhawks, something they found themselves in a lot of last night.
Now Osdek. Getting hit by Hansen, but it's going to be Vitopka passing it over to Williams. Now Williams chips it into the zone. He takes a hit up high.
Look at Vitopka just getting in there like gangbusters, as it looks like some confrontation down in the corner there, Gabe. Ciovelis getting involved. Vitopka down at the bottom. Everyone everywhere.
And it looks like that senior defenseman, Brett Houston, who had lost his helmet in the collision. So we'll see if any penalties are handed out here. As Elton John's Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting is playing here in Jordan Valley Ice Park. It doesn't look like any penalties will be handed out.
Cadle's talking to the ref. Coach Cadle's talking to the ref about the scenario. possibly about the hit from behind that Votopka received on that little exchange from the second defenseman back from the Ice Bears, but it looks like it's going to be even strength play for the time being here, Gabe. Conversation still happening as the referee signals for the puck drop.
So we'll still be 5-on-5, 13:47 left to go. 5-2 still our score. Votopka spinning around, getting a backhand pass to Ciavelis in the corner. Ciavelis tried to leave it for Medina, who got tripped up as he skated through the crease. Got a little too close to the net there. Battling, trying to keep the puck in. Markrander unable to keep control, but Ciavelis right there at the blue line holding it in. So he tried to pass it over to Votopka. She gets himself into a collision there. Unable to hold the line as Ciavelis as it just bounced right over the blade of his stick. Votopka heading to the bench for a much-deserved rest as it's up to Ciavelis, who then tried to find PK with a saucer pass. Held in by Markrander, but it's going to be offsides on the Jayhawks.
Are you selling for free chicken with no rewards at your bank? Get rewards from Mid-Missouri Bank and Kasha.
Again, Votopka's out there every shift giving it his all. That rest is definitely much deserved. He's flying out there with rollerblades on his skates, something that seems impossible, but he's going out there with speed every shift.
Visit midmallbank.com.
As PK throws a shot on net, kicked away there by Taplin. That second line for the Jayhawks really starting to go to work, and it looks like Luke Hansen gets pulled up there to go to work with Matthew and PK. Playing back at defense for the Jayhawks is Dusso and Pearson. Dusso pitchforking it over to Hansen, who then passes it over to Dusso, who gets a headman pass up to Matthew. Matthew getting a hit at open ice that took down both Matthew and Garnier. As it's going to be dumped all the way back, and an icing on Missouri State. So 12:24 left to go here, period number 2, 5-2. Our score, the Jayhawks finally finding themselves in double digits on the shot column. As the Bears trying to get a breakout, ill-advised pass there, holds it into the zone. As Ciavelis dodging a hit there from Moon. Now Papuga with it. So he'll cut to the right before going to the middle, dodging a hit from Medina. Now it's going to be Gamble passing it over to Garnier. Garnier loses control and it finds its way over to Pearson. As it's wrapped around, the Jayhawks will dump it in, get a change going. A headman pass up to Gamble, streaking down the middle. Gamble moving in, he's trying to shot and hit the stick of Morgan as it sends it to the corner. Now Morgan trying to get over to PK. PK wins the race to the puck, but he's going to have to get through two defensemen, so he'll just back in it into the zone and have him chase after it. Now it's over to Luke Hansen. Hansen getting bodied in the corner there. Going in to help him out was Aiden Matthew. As it's passed up over to Schlereth. Schlereth, a shot off the blocker of Miles. Was trying to send it out was Hansen. Hansen now going to work in the corner. PK getting knocked down. Schlereth and Hansen getting into it right in front.
Huge collision over by the Jayhawk bench.
And it looked like Matthew got bodied there. He was wanting Andrew Cato visibly upset. He was wanting a cross check there. Either way, will be called for offsides. Offsides the call as Matthew was still down as Brown was skating it into the zone, and there's going to be a penalty there on Josh Hansen as he just took down Ben Williams.
Could be an interference call here for the older Hansen brother on Missouri State as the Jayhawk power play gets another opportunity to crack away at this Missouri State Ice Bear lead.
The ref held his fist up in the air, so that'll mean it's a roughing penalty instead. It was a good guess. So the Jayhawks will get to see another power play as C of Ellis won it back over to Pearson. Pearson curling around, finding it over to Vitopka, who then banks it off to do so. Chopped into the corner for C of Ellis. C of Ellis able to glove it down. He'll get it back to his tape, getting it to Dusso. Now Dusso over to Pearson. Pearson waiting. He'll pass it over to Dusso. Rips a shot from the point. Blocked up front. C of Ellis losing control. And the Bears able to dump it down. As it goes right to the tape of Mitch Miles. The Bears get a change going. But the Jayhawks will keep that power play unit 1 out on the ice. As the pass was intercepted there, now Dusso skating it up, trying to get a headman up to Medina, but it ends up hitting off the stick of, I think that was Drummond, and it goes to the corner. And a hit on the corner by Vitopka. He wasn't sure where the puck went. As C of Ellis able to strip it away. Now C of Ellis with it. Trying to pass it over to Pearson, who makes a nice move around Conti. Pearson over to Dusso. Dusso waiting to C of Ellis. C of Ellis ripping one from short side as that one sails wide. Now Pearson to the corner over to Vitopka. Vitopka skating it up. Try to shot it. As Dusso and C of Ellis trying to play catch there. The Bears get it out of the zone. And they'll take it away, dump it in, and both teams will get a change. Now Pearson over to Dusso. Dusso try to get a headman pass, taken away by Moon. That play is broken up by Pearson, now Moon with it. As he's getting double teamed there, gets a pass over to Conti. Conti unable to get it over to Garnier, as Garnier was just ready to put it home at the back door. Now it'll be Pearson. Pearson pushed off the puck. So the Bears now full strength. A successful penalty kill for Missouri State. The Jayhawks getting a couple chances there. Now Brett Houston on it. Houston circling around, passing it to the other corner. A headman up over to number 27, that's Daniger. As the Jayhawks have control again, it's Matthew passing it over to Morgan. Morgan fumbles the puck at the red line. Now it's going to be Moon dropping it back over to, I think that was number 22, Gerhardt. And two Jayhawks nearly running into each other. Now it's going to be Garnier dumping it out. Jayhawks getting a much needed change there. Now Gerber on it. Gerber try to get a pass, and Fontanetta able to get it out of the zone, but the Bears get it right back as Brett Houston backhands it into the zone. Now Connor Morgan wrapping it around the other way. Now Gamble getting pressured in the corner. Going in to help him out is Gerhardt. It's going to be Brown and Fontanetta battling for it in the corner. But it's Gamble for the Bears coming out with it. Houston's going to crank one for the point. It's loose up front. Miles still on top of it. And we'll get a whistle here. So 7:11 left to go here in period number 2. 5-2 still our score. Shots are 20-10. As the faceoff is won by Missouri State. This time back over to Zaccardi. Now Fontanetta, headman pass up to Gerber. Gerber a foot race for the puck. He's shaken off by Harper, fighting to get it back.
There's Gerber again, finding that space in the neutral zone to catch a pass through the middle for a scoring chance there, Gabe. Something he does often.
And it'll be an icing on Missouri State.
Bambino's wants to invite all Missouri State fans to stop before or after the game for great food and a fun atmosphere. Bambino's Cafe, great food, great service, your neighborhood. And my favorite, the Papa.
So a face-off again, won by Missouri State. This time it's Medina trying to fight it in. Ciavelis unable to hold the line, so the Bears send it out of the zone. As it's going to be Walsh passing it over to Mark Craner, who then finds Medina, who try to slap it over to Ciavelis at the center. As the Bears send it out again, it's going to be Mark Craner throwing it in. Chasing after it is Sudduth. Sudduth getting pressured by Ciavelis, as the puck will end up going to Medina, but quickly taken away was Harper, and a nice hit there by Vitopka. Turned over, Ciavelis getting there first as he's going to throw it to the corner. Back on it is Sudduth. Sudduth backhanding it around over to Gamble. There was a collision there. It looked like Walsh might have lost his footing, but a nice break up there by Mark Craner. Holding the puck into the zone is Sullivan as he passes it over to Gamble. Gamble, a backhand shot blocked up front. Gamble off the rebound, trying to pass it to the slot. Nice stick usage there by Mark Craner as the Jayhawks are able to fight it off. Drummond has it at the point, shot blocked up front. It looks like it hit Ciavelis, and the Jayhawks will dump it out. And it won't go far enough for an icing, so they'll get a change going. Matthew applying pressure there as Ciavelis will slap it in. It was tipped off, but it's going to be a foot race for the puck. Matthew wins it there. Aiden Matthew spinning off a hit. He's going to try and backhand it up to PK, but PK couldn't see that he was passing it to him. Now Daniger spinning off a hit from Hansen. It's going to be Holmstrom with it, trying to shot up front, hit the side of the net. Looked like it might have hit the post a little bit, but Drummond unable to hold the line, and it's going to be PK skating it in. PK backhands it over to the corner. It'll be Josh Hansen getting the puck over to the goaltender, Taplin, and held on to for a whistle.
Ice Bears seeming to get back to their possessive game that they had last night, controlling the puck well, not causing many, longer puck possession chances for the Jayhawks, Gabe.
There it is again, another face-off win by Missouri State. The Jayhawks really need to step up their game at center if they want a chance to come back, because winning those offensive draws rather are very important. Now Aiden Pearson, he's going to lead the charge from back behind his own net. He's going to cut to the right side before backhanding it into the zone. He's shaking off the puck as the Bears will now take it out. As it goes off the stick of Osdeck and out of play. We'll get another whistle. 4:12 left to go. Score still remains 5-2. There's that first line back out for the Jayhawks. And it looks like a penalty is going to be called. Or never mind, it's just the student section getting rowdy there. I saw the ref with his hand up, and I wasn't sure if there was going to be some sort of unsportsmanlike after the whistle, or...
Sometimes it's hard to tell, Gabe. It's a little weird. This ACHA game, typically higher level games, you'd probably want 4 officials out there on the ice, but you got 2 referees wearing the orange armband and 1 linesman. Depending on what side of the ice, the referee seems to kind of be holding that interim linesman spot that the 4th guy normally would have.
And you see Osdeck walking in, a nice shot blocked there by Connor Morgan. But Connie off the rebound. Morgan able to backhand it away from the net. Shot up front, just going wide. Miles getting lucky there. And a nice dump down by Ciavelis, but it's going to go all the way back. And we're going to get icing. And the face-off is won back over to Harper, passed over to Sudduth. Sudduth tries a shot. Max Brown right there to block it. Now Sudduth coasting around, tries to wrap around, but he's getting pressure there by Connor Morgan. And a drive by Hansen held onto by Miles. For another whistle. As the shots are 24-10, the score hasn't changed, but we have just under 3.5 minutes left of period number 2.
A lot of shots being produced by this Missouri State team so far, Gabe, or at least in this last few minutes of play.
Face-off took place to the left of Miles. It looks like the Jayhawks won it, but easily had it stripped from them. And it looked like the ref was in the way for a little bit there. Luke Hansen having to juggle the puck in the air a little bit, trying to get control as Moon will take it for the Bears now. Moon still with control after great pressure as Harper was able to hold the line, but he's going to be called offsides. It looked like he held that in.
I couldn't tell from the angle I was at, but offsides is offsides. Face-off outside of the Jayhawk zone.
As the face-off is won back over to Mark Crander, who then will quickly send it to Walsh. As Walsh tried to get the headman pass up to Hansen, just had too much sauce on that, and it goes to the link for an icing. I think they were trying to go for like a dump and change there.
I saw there was a bit of a open lane for Luke Hansen, pardon me, to try and receive a pass through the middle, but just missed over a stick.
Yeah, holding it in there was Gamble as he tried a shot. It goes up high into the netting and out of play. And it looks like it's sent over to Gamble. Gamble will curl around with the puck on his forehand. He'll pass it back behind the net to Schlereth. And then a nice break up there for the Jayhawks as PK will dump it down. No icing, but it gets a much needed change for those Jayhawks. Sent all the way back, no icing as it was tipped. Now Walsh spinning off a hit. Then he gets knocked down there by Daniger and called for.
Going to be an elbowing there on Daniger. As he's having a conversation with the official about the call going to the box, Gabe. This power play for the Jayhawks going back to work. Once again, looks like it's that Ciavelis, Medina, Votopko line on the start of this 2-minute man advantage.
So they'll almost close it out on the power play, but 2:04 left on the clock. It's going to be a 2-minute minor for Elbow. As winning the faceoff there was the Bears, and they're able to dump it down. Charging after the puck to win the race is Moon. So he'll get there first, and then he's pressured right away by Aiden Pearson. As they take him down back behind the net. The fans here wanted a penalty. Now Ciavelis, a headman pass up to Votopka. Votopka moving down with speed on the left wing. Nice toe drag move before curling around to the corner. Votopka, not sure where to go. He's pressured on the boards, going in to help him dig the puck loose is Duso. Now Votopka gets it over to Ciavelis. Ciavelis backhanding it over as the Bears will dump it down again. Now coming out to play it is Miles. He'll flick it up over to Pearson as it ends up going over to Luke Hansen. Hansen chips it into the corner, racing forward is Ciavelis. Ciavelis with a nice hit in the corner as he blew a tire there. Now Duso fires one from the point, trying to tipping up front was Hansen as the Bears dump it all the way back. As Duso tried to clear it out, it was off the stick of Gamble, and the Jayhawks will ice the puck.
1 minute to play in the second period. 1 minute.
So looks like 49 seconds left here in the period. The shots are still 24-10. The Jayhawks really didn't have much of a chance with that first line out there, as the Bears defense has really stepped up. As it's won back over to Duso, who then try to leave it for Pearson. Pearson up to Hansen. Hansen now to Matthew. Matthew finding PK. Goes off his skate. As it's then fought for in the corner. The Bears send it down once more as they're just chewing off the penalty clock. 20 seconds left to go on the penalty, handed out to Daniger. And then a big hit there in the corner on PK.
Another penalty coming the Ice Bears' way just as the penalty to Daniger winds down with 5 seconds remaining. 91 for the Ice Bears. Cameron Osdick going to the box. And the Jayhawks will end the period with a bit of a 5-on-3 chance.
So that's enough to just win the faceoff back and hopefully get a shot off. 5 seconds, not a whole lot.
There seems to be a meeting of players with the referee that was down in the corner there, possibly about the severity of the penalty. Whether that's the only conversation I can imagine as it breaks up. Just a 2-minute penalty for checking from behind on Osdeck.
As the physicality of this game starting to ramp up, you got to think that the refs would start to call a lot more so it doesn't get out of hand as it has already.
Well, quite the contrary sometimes, Gabe. There is a standard of play that each level and each game brings, and as the intensity grows, it kind of, it varies a little bit how these officials call their games.
Now Dusso rips one from the point. Medina up front. It's loose in the crease, and they score! And it looked like Steven Ciavelis hit it right before the buzzer.
Looks like the Jayhawks are going to be heading into the latter frame of the game with a 2-goal deficit to try and chip away at. And a nice little power play goal by Steven Ciavelis.
And Brett Houston up in arms about it. And the two refs are going to talk here. They put the goal on the board. Let's stay here before we go to the break and just see what the official decision is.
Yeah, I can only imagine the conversation is along the lines of when the puck and the goal was signaled before the horn blew, as that is an important indicator.
And it looks like the ref and the linesman stepped off.
Looks like it's going to be a good goal here, Gabe, as Andrew Cadle is talking with the official on the ice still. Definitely a needed burst of energy right at the end of the period, as the Jayhawks, yes, they might not have been totally dominated. They definitely were on the latter hand of a possession timer that the Missouri State Ice Bears kind of dominated control that entire period. But this rush on the special teams definitely is going to help.
So Steven Ciavelis scores at the last second to send the Jayhawks into intermission with some momentum, obviously. Still down by 2, but again, as we've talked about before, a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey, and the Jayhawks, are able to battle back from adversity. They showed that in the Friday night game in front of a packed house of Nebraska.
The Jayhawks have been here before, Gabe, and I'll fall back on what I've mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Coach Andy McConnell mentioning yesterday before the game that it's a mindset thing. This is the perfect opportunity for the Jayhawks to come into the third period after a full intermission of rest, grappling the style of play that they need to come out with, coming out firing, and burying pucks in the back of the net.
And all of it starts with one goal. If the team can come out with the mindset that it's a 0-0 game, brand new game, play their style of hockey, because it's pretty good. Just got to stay out of the box, have better defensive positioning, like near the slot, because Missouri State's just been able to walk in and shoot it as they please.
You're right, Gabe. A lot of their shot opportunities and scoring chances have been in that kind of point slot area. They're able to walk out and create a passing lane, walk out and create a shooting lane. And Mitch Miles and the team, even with 5 on the board, they've been able to clear pucks out from in front of the net this game so far pretty well. But you're right. If the Jayhawks want any sort of chance to get back into this game, they've got to be have tight defensive positioning and just transition well and get those scoring chances as fast as they can and as many as they can with the 20 minutes in the third period. 2 goals is not anything new to this Jayhawk team. They were down 4-2 going into the second period in Nebraska on Friday night and came out with a 9-7 win. Will this be as high scoring of affair? Maybe. It certainly seems that it's trending that way, but the Jayhawks are going to have to come out and control the game early in the third period and use that momentum to put pucks on the net and crash it hard, getting rebound opportunities.
All right. Again, I'm Gabe Daniel. Joining me is Logan Rosengard on the call. We're going to step aside just for about 13 minutes or so for an intermission break. We'll be back soon for the third and final period of play of what's been an exciting game here inside the Jordan Valley Ice Park. back inside Jordan Valley Ice Park. It is a 5-3 game. Missouri State in the lead, but Steven Ciavelis struck back with the last second for a power play goal, and KU has a lot of momentum now as we're waiting for teams to get back out here onto the ice for period number 3.
That momentum's going to need to be carried through all 20 minutes of play if they want any sort of chance of coming back, Gabe. A lot of a comeback is just about the mindset and the energy that you bring to the game. If you go out there and play a good game, but it's kind of slow, you're a step behind the other team, it's going to be hard to come back. They got to get out there with a pep in their step, got to go out and control play early and control play the whole period and put pucks in the back of the net.
And one of the things Coach Andrew Cato was talking about in the locker room was this team's not going to back down. These fans aren't going to back down. And then one of the first responses that happened was Will Vitopka, and he stood up and he's like, neither are we. So it's going to be an exciting finish here.
You know, Gabe, I think that might have became my least favorite sound of this weekend, as it's right next to us where we are from the commentators area.
I don't know who's running the score, but they're making a big mistake. They're playing the hum, and those watching back at home, if you know anything about the Kansas and this song, it's exactly how they get fired up. I can just imagine how these players are feeling.
This Jayhawk hockey team is going to have to channel their inner KU men's basketball team, use the hum, get the energy going, and bring it to the ice.
Treat this like the under 4 timeout. Have all the momentum as we're getting set here.
Jayhawks having a little bit of a team meeting in front of the bench before the period drops, before the puck drops on the ice, and they look fired up and ready to go here.
They're ready to get right back to work.
And it's that Ciavelis, Medina, Will Vitopka line out again for Cadle and the Jayhawks.
And back at the blue line, it's Commander Dusso and Pearson. Aiden Pearson quickly gets it over to Caleb Dusso. Turnover up front, a backhand shot held onto by Miles. Play to the side where Medina's able to backhand it out of the zone. Back on it is Harper. He'll pass it around over to number 18 before getting it over to Conti. Conti stripped to the puck. Ciavelis unable to get control as the Bears have possession as they're going to control the puck here. Really quiet start to the period considering how loud the student sections here have been. Turnover up front, a shot right off the post.
Postal Service once again bearing great news for Mitch Miles.
Now battle along the corner. Looks like it'll end up going to Pearson. Aiden Pearson waits. He'll get it over to Vitopka. Vitopka spinning around. He sends it back over to Pearson. Pearson wraps it to Dusso. Some of the Bears will get a change going as a headman pass was intended for Vitopka, as it'll be Pearson over to Dusso. The Jayhawks playing a little cautious before a headman pass up to Ciavelis, who then chips it into the zone, and it looks like it'll be called for an icing as Harper wins the race. So 18:41 left to go here, period number 3. Shots are 25-11 as Missouri State already had an early one here. 5-3 the score. As Ciavelis tossed up the faceoff, it goes back over to Zaccardi for the Bears. Tipped up front and a nice stick play there by Aiden Pearson. As Ciavelis will try to play it off the glass to get it out of the zone as it's held in there. Now Pearson with it. Pearson getting up to Matthew. Matthew over to Ciavelis, who's able to chip it out of the zone as Pearson banks it in. Then racing right to it is PK. PK dodging a hit there as it ends up going over to Battelle. Battelle over to Zaccardi. Zaccardi saucer pass all the way up over to Gerhardt as he shoots it right to the glove of Miles, and he's out. held on to for a whistle.
Miles not getting tested nearly as much as he has last game and in weekends past. Probably a sigh of relief from his end. He's a workhorse in between the pipes, and definitely having a lot more energy because of it.
Now fighting in the corner, it'll be Connor Morgan now as he's able to get the puck over to Max Brown, who tried to send it over to Matthew. Matthew getting pressured there. Then Max Brown's going to go in and help with the battle. Brown able to use the glass, sends it out, and it's going to go all the way back for an icing until it gets waved off. Papuga got close enough, so and it looks like skating it in, and Sullivan a shot, and he scores. And there we have, we've talked about it. He's just able to walk in like that to the slot, gets it past Miles, and it's a 3-goal game now.
Nice little odd man opportunity there for the Ice Bears, leading in that goal, making it 6-3. Jayhawks are not out of it though. Plenty of time, plenty of energy from this team.
As this one back over to Papuga, who sends it over to Houston, and intercepted there by Fontanetta, who couldn't hold the puck. Now Mark Crander gets it up over to Williams, who gets taken down at center ice. No call there. Refs will just let it go on. Now Schlereth turns it over. Gerber gets it, but he loses control. It's poked up front. Miles has to jump on top of it, and we get another whistle. 17:02 left to go here in the third period. 6-3 the score now. Shots are 27-11.
Hard to tell, but it looks like Coach Cadle is running his two lines, the Ciavellis line and the PK centered line, quite often here in this third period early on, Gabe.
There's just a little bit of a back and forth battle until Sudduth gets it at the point. He'll pass it across to Harper, back over to Sudduth. A shot from the point, blocked up front into the netting. Out of play for another whistle. So not sure what happened there. The faceoff will take place in front of the Jayhawk bench. And speaking of Jayhawks, if you want to know the score for the football game, Iowa State is already starting to run wild on the Hawks as the score is 28-0. A shot from the point there by Sudduth, just going wide. Harper now throws it to the corner. Back to Sudduth, rips one, blocked up front, and looks like losing a stick and a glove there was Markrander. And Hansen and Walsh getting into it back behind the net. So the physicality is starting to ramp up there. As it's poked in by Ciavellis. Ciavellis still moving in. Tried a shot blockered away there by Toplin. And the Jayhawks are going to head to the power play once again. And it looks like there's going to be a slash on Josh Hansen.
Older brother of Luke Hansen, I'll mention once again. This power play for the Jayhawks is going to need to be explosive, moving quick, and opening up this Missouri State penalty kill. Looks like it's going to be that top unit with Ciavellis, Medina. Well, maybe I stand corrected. Medina and Ciavellis are out there.
So looks
with
like
PK on the wing
PK
instead of Otopka, Gabe.
So he's going to have PK at the wing.
Ice Bear penalty number 55, Josh Hansen, 2 minutes for slashing.
So right off the face-off, it'll be the Bears as Conti blew a tire right at center ice. Miles left it back behind for Dusso, and Dusso is going to start leading the charge. He's going to hurry up ice. Before cutting to the left, he lost control of the puck, and it's dumped down the other way. So Miles will come out to play it as he leaves it for Ciavellis. Ciavellis passing it across over to Pearson. Pearson, he'll cut to the right and then start swinging down the middle before passing it back over to Steven Ciavellis. Pearson unable to hold the line. Actually, no, he was able to, as Vitopka able to throw it in back behind the net. As Ciavellis is going to work there, Medina goes in to help him out. Is trying to move the puck. And Medina's able to free it up. He gets it over to Vitopka. Vitopka moving around. He's going to get stripped of the puck there by Zaccardi. Zaccardi's able to ice it all the way down. And it'll take a weird bounce off the boards and go right to the tape of Miles, who leaves it for Dusso, who then gets a headman pass up to Pearson, who then tips it into the corner. As the Bears dump it back down once again, they've sawed off over 1:20 now of that power play for the Jayhawks. 14:23 left to go here in the game. And the Hawks have to get back on side. Matthew just a little ahead of the play. As Battelle with it now. Sends it over to Garnier. Garnier tried the headman pass up to Battelle. Battelle, he'll cut to the right before it stops. And then tries to rim it around the boards as it ends up going to Aiden Matthew. Matthew gets taken down, goes on the boards, and we're going to get another penalty here.
I believe it's going to be a cross check here on Missouri State from Eric Battelle. And the Jayhawks are going to have 4 seconds of 5-on-3 play, and still the power play lives on early in this, not early, as we get to the midway point of this third period game. And again, the Jayhawks need to move this power play unit fast and fiery. That's one of the things that's going to open up this defense, especially with 3 guys out there for 4 seconds. I got to find the shot opportunity and crash the net.
2 minutes for cross-check at 6:06. 2 minutes cross-checking, timeout penalty 6:06.
So it looks like the faceoff is won back over to Houston. Houston wrapping it around. Morgan diving, trying to hold the line, but it's going to be taken out by the Bears. Skating it into Sullivan, shot and he scores. So a short-handed goal for Missouri State as Morgan turned it over right at the blue line. So now the Jayhawks are down 4.
Still on the man advantage, which aids in their favor here, Gabe, but on that goal, puck was unable to be kept in, leading to the 2-on-0 chance for the Ice Bears, cashing in on the goal, shorthanded.
And it looks like Sullivan got the hat trick. Some milestone puck.
His third of the game and his third career hat trick, scored by number 25, Sean Sullivan. Unassisted at 6:17.
So that'll get a rise out of the crowd as Sullivan gets the hat trick. So congratulations to him for his third career hat trick. As Missouri State now leads 7-3 with just about 13 minutes left to go. Now Schlereth passed up front. And Holmstrom just fanning on the backdoor opportunity. Now it's going to be Pearson leading the charge. Pearson up to Dusso. Dusso throws it to the corner over to Jack Gerber. Now to Hansen, trying to pass it up front to PK. Back to Hansen. Hansen not sure where the puck was at. And it'll end up getting turned over to Schlereth, and they'll ice it down. Now Dusso with it. Back to Gerber. Gerber almost crashing into the net. It goes off its moorings. So we'll get a whistle. 12.5 minutes exact left here on the board.
Certainly something you don't want to see from the goalie's perspective. Your own player coming in hot, knocking off the net. but defensive zone faceoff draw for the Jayhawks. They're going to have to transition it into a scoring chance here on the power play.
Now Gerber able to flick the puck out of the zone. He tries to find Ciavelis. So Cadle starting to shake up those lines a little bit.
Try and feed the hot hand here late in the game, Gabe.
As it looked like Walsh tried to get a headman pass, intending that for Gerber. As it'll be dumped back all the way down. Mark Rainer now. The freshman coming out of St. Louis will pass it up over to Cole Walsh, the sophomore, spending time with the Joliet Jaguars.
And they're going to kill the penalty off, Gabe, as we get closer to the halfway point. It is Greek night here at the Jordan Valley Ice Park as the student section is filled with students wearing their house's respective letters. That certainly is a fun showing from Missouri State students.
And it just shows the atmosphere of college hockey.
Indeed it does.
Now it'll be Vitopka with it as he spins off a hit there. And then he tries to go off and put a hit on Gerhardt.
Vitopka's going to be penalized. Or
it looks like interference there. And then diving down to block a shot. Vitopka, and he looks hurt.
Colliding with someone behind the net caused the penalty there. As he's going to go. An incited reaction from the crowd behind him next to the Jayhawk bench as he glides over to the penalty bench. Never a dull moment when Will Vitopka's on the ice there, Gabe.
Not at all. Just brings the energy. As he's going to be one heck of a player that this club can build around. And it looks like
Penalty number 15 will attack out 2 minutes for roughing. At 8:49, 2 minutes for roughing. And that's a nice Bears power play.
then right off the faceoff, they try to take a shot. It goes wide, but holding the line there is Brett Houston.
It's a game of special teams here tonight, Gabe. A lot of penalties from both sides. And the power play and penalty kill for each team.
And a one-time shot
Getting
by
tested.
Schlereth. Not sure which net he was aiming at, but it goes up into the netting and out of play.
Brings up the crossbar, Gabe, on that shot. Just a little high and out. As we approach the halfway mark of the period, Gabe, start to wonder if we're going to see longer shifts from the Jayhawks' top guys as we've seen so far in this third period. But again, another shortening of the bench might be due for as they try to get back in the game.
That was a nice shot there by Drummond, just barely grazing the glove of Miles, as it looks like he's going to try and set up again. Houston with a shot from the point, tipped up front, just going wide. Gerhardt's got one of those big bodies that you just don't want to have standing in the crease, as Brett Houston's going to skate it back. As he fumbles the puck there, and he's going to get into it with Medina in the corner. And he's going to hear it from the student section here in the corner. And then a nice hit back there by Dusso, a shot up front, and they score. Judging by the celebration, I think that might have been Moon.
Looks like it, Gabe. He's leading the handshake line, or the high five line, in front of the Missouri State bench.
So it is now 8-3. With 10:15 left to go. Shots are 29-14.
Even strength play here as the goal killed off the Jayhawk penalty, Gabe.
So now chasing after it's going to be Conti as he's getting hit off the puck by Hansen. Now it'll be Garnier with a shot from the point, hit a man up front. That'll be Matthew trying to bank it out of the zone. So the Jayhawks now down by 5. As Papuga just took himself out. It looked like he blew a tire right at that corner. As it just looks like the play is going to slow down here just a little bit with how big the score differential is. As Papuga shot from the point, blockered away by Miles. As Holmstrom now tries to backhand it over to Garnier, a shot up front. So Missouri State's just going to go pedal to the floor for the rest of this game all they can. Saucer pass over to Papuga. Sent to the corner, now Gamble with it. Gamble trying to pass it up front. Back to Papuga, winds up, fans on the shot. And the Jayhawks will send it out of the zone. That'll get a much needed change going. Now be Morgan off the board trying to get over to Williams. Williams hit off the puck, tries to find Gerber, but it goes too far into the corner. Now Schlereth for the Bears, wrapping it around to Fontanetta. Fontanetta gets bodied right there, and that'll get the crowd going. Looks like Brandon Fontanetta took a stick up high. He just shakes it off. As it's then dumped back in by the Jayhawks. Chasing it is Sudduth. A cross over to Harper. Harper then passing it over to Gamble, who then had to leave it for Sudduth as he'll use the boards to bank it out. Max Brown unable to play it as Schlereth used the stick to tie up a battle right there. Now Gerber, a little collision there with Harper, as the puck will end up going to Fontanetta, who then passes it back over to Morgan. Couldn't get the pass connected to Williams, but it goes the length. No icing. As Sudduth with it now. As it's going to be Sullivan skating in again. Backhanded over, and everyone falling down there as it goes all the way back. And an icing call. 7:45 left to go. 8-3 still our score. Shots are 30-14.
Again, as we wane down into the late minutes of this game and third period, Gabe, the Jayhawks are still fighting back, trying to keep in this game and cut the deficit and gain any sort of momentum and energy and translate that into some sort of offensive chance.
And a shot from the point by Sudduth, held on to by Miles for another whistle. And it looks like some last minute changes will be going on for the Jayhawks. As it's Juan back over to Duso. Battle along the corner. Ciavelis with it now. She's able to flick it up and away, unable to get it out of the zone. As Sudduth was there to hold it in. Now Schlereth trying to play it around. Duso try to get the head man pass up to Medina. As it's sent back over to Duso. Duso to Pearson. Pearson stick handling, backhands it out of the zone. Force fed back in by Sudduth. Now Ciavelis making a fancy move there just to get the puck out of the zone before he'll loft it up. Medina still back chasing it as it's sent around to Zaccardi. Zaccardi. Headman pass up to Battelle. Battelle moving it into the zone, throws it to the corner where Pearson's on it. So Pearson just weaving his way through. He's going to cut to the right before throwing it into the corner. Chasing after it. He's still going to work in the corner. Lots of collision there. Ciavelis trying to connect with Matthew on the one-time opportunity, unable to do so. Now it's going to be Battelle for the Bears. On the left wing, he'll coast around the net, getting pressured there by, I believe that's Nick Markrander out on the ice now. As Moon picks it up for the Bears. Moon moving around as it's dropped back over to Markrander, who tried to wrap it around a PK. Markrander having to go back and pick up his stick as it goes to Gerhardt. Then up to Moon, who uses the boards to bank it in. as the Hawks are still battling to get it loose. Zaccardi weaving it back over for Drummond, as it ends up finding its way back over to Moon, as he'll have to regroup with it. Moon getting hit by PK as the puck finds its way to Luke Hansen, who finds Gerber. Gerber to PK, back over to Gerber, who banks it in, chasing it back to the corner. And stick battle right there allows Zaccardi to get the puck for the Bears as he just lofts it into the zone. Then racing after it was number 22. That's Gerhardt. And it looks like there's going to be a call
Tripping penalty
for
here, Gabe.
a trip.
Can't necessarily tell who. It looks like it's going to be.
It's going to be Cole Walsh.
That's a tough penalty to have called against the Jayhawks late in this period. As again, they're still playing hard and fighting back. 5 goals is a lot to score. However, these guys are playing hard and, you know, giving it their all.
You see right there, Ciavelis just charging down the ice as he's fighting to get that puck loose over to Medina. Cranks a shot off the blocker of Taplin, and Ciavelis going to get the rebound. And it looks like Papuga's going to get a penalty here.
Roughing call looks like it's going to be coming his way, Gabe, as him and Ciavelis flash in the corner and exchange a few blows.
So Brett Houston's like, hey, look at the scoreboard. At Steven Ciavelis, as they were just going to battle in the corner. These two teams definitely do not like each other.
Certainly not, Gabe.
So 4-on-4 hockey, 4:51 left to go. It'll be a minute 40 of 4-on-4 to be exact. 8-3 Steelers score, 31-15 the shot count.
A lot of ice to be used up when it's 4-on-4 play, Gabe, and Jayhawks are going to have to pass well and use that space and create some of their own to create some drives.
This face-off is won over to Vatopka, who tried to wrap it around to Ciavelis, but it ends up going over to Morgan. Morgan. So somehow he gets a tripping call for that. And it looks like Morgan gets taken down, and that'll fire up the crowd as Harper spinning around. As he gets tied up there.
Ciavelis is going to be penalized for that hit there, Gabe. Probably a check from behind is the call. And the Jayhawks are going to go on a 4-on-3 penalty kill for the next minute and 8 seconds.
And this is where the emotions are going to start running high. So it's going to be that weird 4-on-3.
We've seen it a few times this weekend, a few times this game even. And again, special teams has been a huge storyline and factor in this game, especially tonight, Gabe. And Coach Cadle exchanging words with the officials about the call, trying to get some sort of explanation as to, in his eyes, how that could have or could not have been a check from behind.
Number 23, Steven Ciavelis, 2 minutes for.
Now it'll be Conti over to Sudduth at the point. Back to Conti, winds up, takes a shot, kicked away by Miles. Now Pearson tries to wrap it around, but Harper gets it. Harper from behind the cage gets pressured by Duso. Then over to Sudduth. Sudduth waits, poked away by Medina.
Great defensive stick on that shot block attempt from Medina, the Glenview, Illinois native.
As he just doesn't want to give up quite yet. Now Sudduth with it again. Winds up a shot off the rebound. The Jayhawks try to dump it out, but Conti over to Sudduth, held in right to the chest of Miles for a whistle. So 3:33 left to go. 8-3 the score. 4-on-3 hockey. It's 4-on-3 for about 21 seconds, and it'll be 4-on-4 for 41 seconds, and then the Bears will have a little bit of a power play after that. It looks like the Ice Bears are talking over a game plan to win the face-off and get another scoring chance. They just want to get as many pucks in the net as they can. There's a shot from the point there by Drummond. It's still loose. The Hawks unable to get it out of the zone, but they got it far away enough so Miles could get back up. Now Zaccardi at the point. From the deep slot, he'll fire a wrister. Tipped up front there by Schlereth. Broken up there by Dusso. Now it's going to be Aiden Pearson. Pressured off the puck as Drummond has it. Drummond across to Zaccardi.
Going to be even strength 4-on-4 play for a little bit, Gabe.
So they're running with 3 defensemen, 1 forward. The shot up there just goes high and wide. As
the Ice Bears
behind the net.
Ice Bears even strength here as they have 23 seconds for the Jayhawks to kill off Steven Ciavelis' penalty.
Now Miles will have to cover it up. It looked like he was on top of it, passed up front, and a save there. And then Vitopko is able to dump it down. And that'll pretty much kill off the Ice Bear power play. So 2:20 left to go here in the game. 8-3 the score, 34-15 the shot count, as Missouri State has just been dominating in all cylinders. Shot from the point by Schlereth. Blocked up front. Now it's going to be Morgan. He gets bodied there by Hansen, losing his stick. As the puck is still loose over there. And it looks like the brothers are going to go at it. And it looks like Josh was just going to tap his brother on the back. And then a big hit there by Luke Hansen as he's trying to get off of him.
Luke Hansen's stick looked like it got caught in 16 in white.
So the physicality is just starting to ramp back up late here in the third period as Garnier tried a shot from the point. Hansen was able to backhand it out of the zone, but it's going to be sent back to Schlether. Now it's going to be a break for Garnier. Tries a shot. Oh, and a save there by Miles. It looked like he got a piece of it at least. As the Hawks try to wrap it around the board, sending it out, and a shot from the point just goes wide. Now it'll be Brett Houston. Curling around, he gets hauled down. No call there. And then tripping at center ice was Jack Gerber. And the puck gets sent back with about 40 seconds left to go.
Silva Kitchen and Tap, located downtown Springfield, just off the square, owned and operated by an Ice Bear alumni.
So 41.4 seconds left to go.
Of the Missouri State Ice Bears.
8-3 our score. As it's just going to be a battle right on the side of the net. As the Bears curl around, it's going to be Moon trying to pass it up over to Harper. Harper back in the corner. Has it at the point now from the deep slot. He's going to fire a wrister. Shot out front, tip to the side. 6 seconds left to go here in the game. And that does it for the third and final period. As the Bears will take this one.
And a rough weekend for the Jayhawks. Nothing to show for their drive and effort here in Springfield. 8-3 our final score, Gabe. Any last words before we head off for the next 2 weeks? The Jayhawks have a little bit of a break. Next game at home at Cable Dahmer Ice Arena in Independence, Missouri against Dordt. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gabe.
And that'll be our Hockey Fights Cancer Night, where we'll be honoring those who battle no matter what, as everyone has different experiences. And it looks like Luke Hansen just skates by the crowd and points at his buddies that were chirping him all game, as his older brother Josh on the other team, as they're gonna go over, give each other a hug, say good game. As you see the sportsmanship here, teams giving handshakes. That's about all we have to say. The Bears complete the sweep as the Jayhawks now move to 1-7 on the year. We'll be back again in 2 weeks, as Logan said. I'm Gabe Daniel. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys